What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. Hey, man, I got this article here, and I want to read it to you. It's hilarious. Uh, and it's basically why we are where we are today in terms of a lot of blue pill men out there in the world. Um, this comes from like the beta programming of the mother, and why it's important for you, if you're going to father children, especially sons, to be present in their life, to remove this all pervasive, and when I say be a father and present in his life, I mean it from a red pill perspective, to remove this ever so pervasive, invasive, female hypergamy, female imperative influence that's going to affect the next generations of sons. It's going to make them miserable and make the world a little bit worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this article and I'm going to pepper through this with my commentary. So, from the Huffington Post, why I want my sons to see me naked. I live in a house full of boys, 4 to be exact, but they're still relatively young, so there's no nude mags stashed between mattresses, no stealthily accessed porn sites that someone forgot to erase out of the internet history. Nothing like that. As much as I'd love to think my kids won't be curious, I'm well aware that won't be the case. Those things are looming and will probably start happening much sooner than I'd like. I mean, if I had my duthers, they wouldn't even think about sex until they were 25. Females in the desire to control male sexuality, including their own sons. But before that all happens, before they're exposed to boobs that are as round and as firm as cantaloupes and pictures of taut, airbrushed, dimpleless butts, I'm exposing them to a different kind of female body, mine. I can only just say that's a weird type of perversion, but, and don't take me wrong, guys, but, because I got some white viewers, but y'all white people be on some crazy stuff sometimes. Roosh even covers this. Roosh V, he talks about it. You guys are into that whole sports sex thing. You have sex for entertainment. You don't do it for reproduction purposes. And you can get your pleasure from reproduction purposes. But whatever. Moving on. Ours is not a modest household. I don't lounge around in the buff like my boys do and spend more time saying put on your pants than anything else. But I've never refrained from changing clothes in front of them or leaving the door open when I shower or nursing babies without cover. Because I want them to see what a real female body looks like. Here we come. A real female's body. What is a fake female? Let's carry on and see. Because if I don't, their first images of a naked woman are the impossibly perfect physiques in those magazines or those movies. What kind of expectations will they have? And what woman could ever live up to them? So what she's basically talking about is women that are younger than her. You see, what's happened is this woman has hit the wall. She's had children. She's hit the wall. She's at that age where she's got a bunch of kids, and it's had its effect on her body. She's probably passed the wall since she has like 4 boys, and so, you can't just knock out kids. Well, you can't knock out kids year after year after year, but that's 4 years. I highly doubt she's done that because that's very rare in Western society. So therefore, what she's trying to do is remodel and reframe. Remember in the article I read about how women argue? So when they can't win, they reframe. Yeah, this is what she's doing. She's doing a different type of reframing. She's trying to reframe the standard of beauty that her sons will perceive, which will be her as the beauty standard. This is how she views the world, but she's training her sons to view the world that way. Now, she expects the deference of a young woman. That's what she wants, really. But since she can't get it, she imposes it upon her sons. Do you see what's going on here? She wants to compete with the younger women. Competition anxiety is real. Don't think it isn't in women. But since she can't compete with women who have younger bodies, their bodies aren't impossibly fake. Their bodies aren't airbrushed or whatever else. They're just young. And their skin is taut, and their boobs defy gravity, and so do their butts, and everything is tighter, and everything is more together because they're younger. Now, just because she couldn't capitalize on that to the best of her ability when she was younger, maybe she rode the carousel and then she ended up with a beta provider or whatever else and she knocked out a bunch of kids with them. Who knows what her actual full story is. Nonetheless, she wants to remain relevant. But in doing this, in trying to remain relevant, she ruins her sons. Because if she's the standard for beauty in her current position right now, what kind of woman is he going to select for himself? Is he going to go out and get himself a young hot chick that he's going to be happy with, or is he going to end up with a miserable one and then end up surfing porn for the young hot chicks that he never got? Making thus him be miserable in his relationship with the old bag that he married. She doesn't have to do this. Eventually, whatever young hot woman he gets with is going to turn into an older baggy saggy one like her. It's not a bad thing. The problem is hypergamy, and I still haven't finished the article, but I'm going on a rant here. Hypergamy is problematic because women always think they can do better and they can always upgrade. But what happens is her beauty standard here goes down here. Now, the thing is, when a man meets her at her high peak point and he marries her or he gets in a relationship with her, he grows into her beauty. So over time, as her beauty sinks, he perceives her beauty changing in a different way. I see that my ex-wife. My ex-wife sits downstairs. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's older than me. But I knew her from when she was like 20. Now she's like 46-ish, 47. I still think she's a pretty woman. But I've seen her age and her beauty progress into what she is. No, she doesn't have tight skin anymore. Yes, she has stretch marks. Yes, things go south. But I've seen her from here to here, where she is now. So for me, I've grown into that. It's sort of like they say, acquired taste. Now, any new man that comes along viewing her, automatically his comparison is the younger, hotter woman. Of course, she's not going to hold up to that standard. She's ruining her son's future's opportunity, and she's making of happiness in a relationship. And what she's doing is she's going to make them porn addicts. So let me carry on with the article. Carrying on. Between you and me, I'm dismayed, big time, by my post-baby body. And look at that. See, I didn't even read this article. That's as far as I got before I went on my rant. Look at that. She's dismayed by her post-body. Didn't I just say that? She's trying to change the beauty standard. Look why. She admits it. Women love to tell on themselves, guys. But for the sake of my boys and my future daughters-in-law, I lie through my teeth. To what avail? To what benefit? Anyway. When they ask about my stretch marks, I tell them proudly how growing a baby is hard work and that they're like badges I've earned. Gaming references always hit home with dudes, no matter what you're explaining. The badges, really? This is, imagine that. Now imagine a boy who's inculcated and indoctrinated with this ideology from an early age. Think about the beta online simps that you argue with and deal with all the time and the mentality that they come with. And tell me this isn't where it comes from. Tell me this isn't the group of guys out there who have run around miserable trying to get validation from women and then never achieving it. Oh, God, let's just continue. You see where this beta programming comes from, right? As much as I'd like to cringe and shirk away when they touch my squishy belly, I let them squeeze my flab between their curious fingers. Do I hate it? Yes, I want to wail. Leave my fat alone and run for the nearest oversized t-shirt or like the nearest liposuction clinic. And this goes back to something I said in a previous video. I say this in a lot of different videos. I say a lot of different things in a lot of different videos. Women understand that intrinsically their value is only a sexual one. That a man can do anything and everything he needs except get physical gratification from another person without a woman. Okay, unless you got homosexuals. But what I'm talking about here basically is like normative heterosexual relationships. He can't get that from anything but a woman. We're ruling out masturbation and all this other stuff. We're talking about normal, healthy, basic human interaction. So she understands she has nothing to offer a man except her physical beauty. And she is torn apart that she's lost it. So what's she going to do? Reframe. Remember arguing? Remember, she's going to reframe her reality. This is what happens when you give women the control and the frame of any sort of relationship, including that with your sons. You cannot give a woman the frame in raising your children. She has to defer to your frame as a partner. And if she doesn't, don't have kids with that woman, damn it. I'm energetic here, guys. Excuse me. But I don't, meaning run to the nearest liposuction clinic. Because for right now, for these few formative years, my flab is their one and only perception of the female body. And I want them to know that it's beautiful, even in its imperfection. This goes back to what I was saying about growing into someone's beauty. She should actually be setting the standard for her sons to be happy by showing her pictures. Oh, this is when I was young. This is before you were born. This, that, the other. She should have pictures of who she was and how she was. And she should work on just maintaining a good, healthy shape. There's no reason for her to have flab. Why does she have flab? I'm 45 years old. I weigh 84.4 kg. I don't even do anything spectacular. I stopped working out. I don't box anymore. I don't do jiu-jitsu. I don't run. I just eat healthy. I eat clean. That's it. Why can't she do that? Because we know, literally, and not even figuratively, in general, women tend to be quite lazy. But that's a different conversation. I tell them how strong my body is. They see me work out. Oh, she does work out. They see me make healthy food choices. Why does she have flab if she works out and makes healthy food choices? But still indulge in my love of baked goods. And there we go. You see, this comes from bad habits early on. I'm interjecting here. What happens is you see this with a lot of young women. They get by on youth alone. The genetics of youth. They eat crap food and they can get away with it. But then those habits become who you are and what you are later in life. And so you can't out-exercise a bad diet. I don't care if you eat carrots and celery all week and you smash a bunch of damn donuts, pastries from the bakery, she admits it here, and then work out like a man. You know what? When you're 45 or you're 38 or whatever as a woman, it's not going to work. But let's keep going. And though, like most women, I might inwardly beat myself over the jeans getting too tight or groan in frustration at the numbers on the scale, I'm never anything but proud of my body in front of my boys. And this goes back to what I was just saying about, when she's talking about the scale and the jeans. Women understand that her value intrinsically is one of sexual market. Like Bodhi PUA said on his Twitter post that's gone famous. Women are obsessed with SMV, sexual market value, and being railed by cock. Instilling a positive body image is not an issue reserved for people with daughters and for boys. It involves not only making them confident about their own bodies, but also letting them know that real is beautiful when it comes to the opposite sex. Again, this goes back to what I was saying. Why is she trying to say real and unreal? What makes another girl who's younger and who naturally through her youth has tight skin and gravity-defying body parts, what makes her fake? Why is she fake? At one point, she was that woman and she didn't call it fake. And then when she lost that, now it becomes fake. Do you see how women like to reframe? I don't want to do them or any woman they might happen to see naked in the future the disservice of telling them that saggy boobs are bad and that a little bit of flab is something to be ashamed of. Again, this goes back to what I was saying, growing into a woman's beauty. No, okay, all women are going to get saggy boobs. Guys, you got to come to the reality of that. We understand that. But you can't tell me as a man that saggy boobs are better than taut, gravity-defying ones. They're not. This is not an insult. I got women in my life who got saggy boobs. It's not a problem. You got them. Okay, fine. But if I see some perky ones, don't be hating on me. That's just, it is what it is. It's like if you saw a guy driving a Lamborghini and you rolling around with me in a Trabant or on my bicycle. You can be like, oh, wow, look at that. He's got this car. Yeah, look at that. She's got that ass. Oh, look at that. She got those tits. Yeah, look at that. He's got that house. Okay? Everybody's got their own thing. You got hypergamy. I got polygamy. Everyone's got their poison. You just got to learn how to fight it and deal with it. I don't go around saying a real man is a man who goes to work and this, that, the other and doesn't make millions. What kind of goofy crap is that? Anyway, I want them to know that this is the norm, not the nipped, tucked, and digitally enhanced images they're going to be bombarded with. You see, and now she automatically tries to shame younger women by implying that they are fake. No, actually, you can go around and there are no digitally altered. There are women who are not digitally altered and they look spectacular. But what does she do? She takes a generality and she makes it, she takes something specific and she makes it a generality. Now, if you were to generalize her, she'd say, but I'm not like that. Reframing. Remember, women like to reframe stuff. This is why it's so important for you to have a solid frame as a man and you can't let her break it. Sure, they'll gawk at those bouncy boobies and flat stomachs and perky butts. Again, going back to what I said earlier, she understands her intrinsic value is one of the sexual market, and she's admitting it here. They love to tell on themselves. But I have hope that deep down inside they'll know that this isn't the standard to which they should hold women's bodies. Like ever. Why not? If he's 18, are you telling me he should go out and find a fat, saggy, sloppy, titty drooping woman who's 18 to go get with, or a natural looking healthy 18-year-old girl with perky boobs and a nice butt? What kind of misery is she trying to set her sons up for? This is why we have all these beta dudes online arguing, fighting. They have been programmed from an early age by their mothers to believe goofy crap like this. Let me put this phone on silent. Give me a second. Now everybody want to bombard me. There will come a time when I cover up when they're around. I'm sure at some point I'll hear "Ugh, Mom, put some clothes on," or that they'll learn to knock before barging into the bathroom, which sounds heavenly. I'm not gonna lie. But until then, I'll let them run their fingers along my stretch marks and grin and bear when they squeal with delight and laughter at the way my butt jiggles when I walk across room to grab a towel. There's nothing wrong with jiggly butts at all. I don't care if she's young or old. Jiggly butts is just good, man. You know, especially if it's big and it's got that nice like pear shape. Just smack it, man. Watch it jiggle. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracted there. Because while they're young, I want to plant the seed. Aha! Remember what I said? Beta programming at an early age. I'm just reading this for the first time with you guys. I haven't even finished this article. I stopped. It was so good that I stopped after like the second paragraph. And I was like, I gotta make a video, a real-time video of me reading this garbage. I want to plant the seed so that when they're older, their wives say, "I wish my thighs were smaller." My sons can say they're perfect just the way they are and mean it. Gentlemen, if you have children, be they girls or boys, you need to have an absolute, all-pervasive, frame-controlling relationship with them. And do not mess with women who do not submit to your frame. Dudes, I don't care how hot she is. If you got that one hot chick, you'll get another hot chick. Do not have a scarcity mindset in regards to these women. Be careful where you put that seed, your seed, in whatever garden that's going to grow a child from it. Because she needs to defer to your frame. And your children need to see the benefit of her deferring to your benevolent frame and how it benefits the family as a whole. Not just you, but her and them. That's what masculinity is. It's not toxic. It's just, it is what it is. So if you can't get that from a woman, man, bounce her and get another one. Just fire and forget. That's what I'm on nowadays. You play around, you want to try and run the show? Okay, you know what? Run the show over there. Over here, this is Abuamerican show. Exit stage left. I got that little hook, you know, they used to pull them off. Get rid of them, bro. I'm telling you something, and no insult or offense to any of the women who watch my channel who are involved with me. I will fire and forget on you in an instant. And I tell that to them to their face. I tell it to their face. I'm saying it, and I know women I care for watch this channel. They understand outright. You play games, I'm going to get rid of you. Because I cannot afford to have that where I got a woman who's challenging my frames, and then whatever kid is around from my children or whatever kid might come from that relationship sees that and accepts that as normal. My kids cannot accept being abused, being belittled, being mocked, or whatever else from their woman. And they learn that from you as a father. Because if you accept that from your woman, your child will learn to accept that. Your daughter will learn that that's normal behavior for a woman to treat her man as. And your son will learn that that's normal behavior for a woman to a man. I made a video about understanding what good women are and what good women aren't. And we just really don't recognize it because we weren't raised with good women. And women who say, I'm a good woman, they don't know what a good woman is because they weren't raised around good women. So, going back on topic, it's the same thing with the sexuality of your woman or her sexual market value. When they look at her, they're going to say, I wonder what dad saw in her. You know what I mean? And then he can ask you, say, man, when I met your mom, she was so smoking hot. Okay, she's kind of come down. And then, like I said, you can go back to that photo album and say, look at your mom, man. It's kind of creepy checking out your mom, but you get the idea. Everybody can go back into a picture book and say, wow, my mom was beautiful. I can do that. I can look at a picture and say, my mom, I wouldn't be checking my mom out like she's hot. I wonder if she's got a nice butt over. That's kind of creepy. But you know what I'm saying? I can look at a picture of my mom and say, wow, yeah, I see why my dad talked to her. And I can do that, literally. You want to do the same thing for your sons. Her current situation is not the gold standard for your son. The gold standard for your son is those women in his age group and their bodies. So, this is your man, Abuamerican. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Abuamerican. I'm out.